Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Oakland Raiders. So with that, let's get out to the East Bay and Oakland, California. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Arizona Cardinals. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And, partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast? They talk about catching a fly. It makes the other team chase.
Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And off we go from Oakland. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Johnson. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
I could go on and on about Larry Fitzgerald and his numbers, which are considerable, and everyone knows that. The thing I keep coming back to, he never quits seeking knowledge. Every year, he works with former NFL players who were great wide receivers in order to improve his game, watches a ton of film, always curious, always finding a way to adapt and improve his game.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Justin Pugh, the left guard
Still
that time
down.
with a flag. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
All right, here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And now it's Rosen looking, and incomplete on the deep ball.
And third down is a key down in any game you play, and third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. This is Harris. A great blocking nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
And one of the things that I think that Derek Carr has really improved in doing since college, his ability to stay in the pocket, things swirling around him, find the right guy, and deliver the ball with accuracy. Derek Carr has great touch when he throws the football.
On the carry, here's Marshawn Lynch, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On second down, here's Carr. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Into the red zone, it's Carr. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
They'll run for it with Lynch. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Marshawn Lynch, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's all capped off by a Marshawn Lynch touchdown run. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And Marquell Lee with a stop defensively.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter. Come the Raiders. They'll be looking to duplicate. The efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase them.
And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Brandon LaFell, 64 yards. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard. Line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Johnson on the counter. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. The gun. Here's Josh Rosen. This is taken in by Chad Williams.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the 1st down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
To throw his Carr. And that's off the mark, incomplete. LaFell, the intended receiver, and now it's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
All right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it, fumble. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it, yes.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down. They do go for it. It's Carr. And he finds Carr. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those 4th down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out. Throwing now is Carr. And running with power here. Now a right side completion here by LaFell. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And that's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. It's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target.